Increasingly, since September 11th, America has counted on Turkey as an essential ally. As former U.S. Ambassador to Turkey Mark Paris remarked recently, the Bush administration understands that whatever you're going to do in Iraq, you're going to need Turkey. And America has given that nation wide berth in conducting its own affairs. Also, since September 11th, America has heard more than usual from one of its most implacable critics, the linguist and political essayist Noam Chomsky. His recent book, 9/11, condemns the U.S. as a terrorist state, fully complicit in the human rights violations committed by its allies. This week, Chomsky travels to Turkey, where his publisher stands charged as a terrorist for printing a collection of Chomsky's essays. Turkey's anti-terror laws ban books that, quote, propagandize against the indivisible unity of Turkey. Mr. Chomsky joins us on the phone. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Give me a little background here. The Turkish government has assuaged the European Union by passing free press laws, but I gather those laws are just entirely trumped by the gimmick of invoking the anti-terrorism statute.
Well, they're one of the many mechanisms. For example, the free press laws themselves do not permit free use of the Kurdish language in education and public broadcasting, even Kurdish songs.
So in that environment, what is to be gained by you testifying?
I'm not testifying. I'm appearing at the trial as part of a protest organized by Turkish journalists, other writers, academic figures, and others against the draconian laws and their implementation. And since it happens to be a few words of mine that are the occasion for the trial, they requested that I attend, and I will.
Well, let's examine the actual text to see what's so dangerous to the Turkish state in what you've written. It said, the Kurds have been miserably oppressed throughout the whole history of the modern Turkish state. In 1984, the Turkish government launched a major war in the southeast against the Kurdish population. The end result was pretty awesome. Tens of thousands of people killed, 2 to 3 million refugees, massive ethnic cleansing with some 3,500 villages destroyed. That's it, right?
That sounds accurate. The sentences that you were reading are actually from a talk, which was transcribed and then published in Turkey. It wasn't published here. And the focus of the talk is on U.S. support for Turkish atrocities. All of that was eliminated. The few sentences that you quoted from the talk about the Turkey and the Kurds are virtually drawn from standard human rights reports.
And in the universe of seditious materials, pretty benign. Did you say that we should not forget that the United States itself is a leading terrorist state?
Of course we should not forget that. The fact that the U.S. is a leading terrorist state, it's not controversial. I mean, Osama bin Laden is a murderous terrorist, but he doesn't have anything like the capacities of any state. I mean, that's true of most states.
In the context of your general views towards the United States behavior and your explicit statements that the United States is a terrorist state, does it strike you that the material that was quoted in the Turkey case is relatively innocuous by Noam Chomsky, human flamethrower standards?
First of all, I'm not a human flamethrower. What I do here is pretty much what I did in the talk that the prosecutor selected sentences from. I use documentation that is public and available. It's innocuous by the standards of the Human Rights Watch reports and the scholarly literature and others from which I drew those comments. And in fact, recall that they excluded what I actually said, namely criticism of actions for which I'm responsible as an American citizen. That's what I focused on.
Okay. Well, listen, Noam Chomsky, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Noam Chomsky is a professor at MIT. He's joined us from his home in Lexington,